Good day, everyone. So this session is I'm Dr. Saba. This session is on Turnitin, particularly it's very basics. So Turnitin, I'll give a brief introduction, and of course I'll be open for your questions. What happens that Turnitin is to control the plagiarism. Can I share the PowerPoint for your reference? That will be
Sure.
rather than just talking.
Sure.
So precisely, use of Turnitin through Moodle we are concentrating, but we will also have to briefly talk about how to use a quick submit button with multiple file upload options. As we were instructed through the daily bus that we should use it if student limit is actually reached and we cannot use more of the Turnitin accounts of the students. So just let me switch off my video so that there is no internet disruption. Okay, so why we should check similarity? First of all, we should answer the basic question that there is a requirement by HEC and all publications, like for example, the publishers of research journals or articles or so, that any research work should not be plagiarized. Plagiarism is using someone's work without giving the due credit. And how Turnitin help us in that? Turnitin basically check all our work, which is any kind of text. It could be a book, a chapter, research article, monograph, against any material available on the internet. This is important to note that it cannot compare our writing with anything that is not available online. For example, if it is copied from an old book, it is not available online, this will not be able to check that. Every similarity, second important point is this, that every similarity is not plagiarism. Sometimes what happens that there is an unavoidable similarity. For example, a mathematical formula, could be a definition in biology, with some important words. Sorry, someone was probably saying something. Maybe someone's mic is on.
I muted that. Sorry for the disruption.
Yeah, so it is instructor's responsibility to see similarity is a plagiarism or it's just a similarity which is unavoidable. So, well, how Turnitin help us in that way too? There are filters in the Turnitin, and those filters help us in assessing that whether we can actually the filters. These are basically, we can say, some kind of option in the Turnitin, which allows us to exclude those similarities which are not considered plagiarism. For example, if I am using a term that will be used in 20 or 30 times in my paper, then this is very important that I exclude that particular word, or maybe 2 words or 3 words, or any line or maybe a comma. So Turnitin basically is an online tool for checking similarity of documents with other documents which are there online. Though Turnitin is not only the plagiarism checker tool, but this is also used for online class management or blended course or like that. But mainly we are using it for this plagiarism check, similarity check. Now, one more important thing is this, that HEC's guidelines, here you can see a link, and this PowerPoint of course will be shared with you. This link is giving you the option to check the HEC's current guidelines on using Turnitin, how we should use it. So important ones are copied on the next slide. Let me share with you the 3 points that I want to mention particularly. The similarity index of originality report is showing matches of submitted work with internet content. It is not the verdict that document with high similarity index is plagiarized, because sometimes it is showing the index high just because a definition is used particular terminology is used, and so on. Second important point is this, that the similarities in the document, you can see it highlighted, may contain matches with author's previous work. Now it may be ignored. For example, if the paper is taken from a thesis of a student, then there is a possibility that the student is writing like 2 papers from the same thesis, then certain similarities may be there, and those could be ignored. Then the cut point, if the report has similarity index less than equal to 19%, then benefit of doubt may be given to the author. But what happens that different institutions may have their own requirements, or different publishers may have their own requirements, which could be less than 17% or maybe. And second important thing, the point it is actually mentioning that from any single source, similarity index more than or equal to 5% without citation will not be accepted. So if it is from a single source, for example, some words are copied from a single thesis or a single website or a single research paper, and they are making more than equal to 5% of the part of the paper, then this should be revised. It needs to be revised. So there are 3 important points. Now, second thing, just quickly, how to add a Turnitin assignment in a Moodle course. So first of all, we have to log into the Moodle. For that, we go to the login, the Moodle page. You have, of course, your ID and password. After that, you have to select your course. For example, I select this one. Then we can click the arrowhead of the settings button to switch on the editing. Now we have this turn editing on. When you turn the editing on, we'll have all these things edited. I hope everyone already must have got training in Moodle, how to use Moodle. But just for reference, I slow down a little bit. Turn editing on. We'll see all the things just like this, in this way, that they are having these added buttons in front of them. And wherever we want to add an assignment, we can add it by this button saying add an activity or resource. When we click this, we'll go to this dialog here, this dialog box. We'll reach this dialog box, add an activity or resource. Now here we have to select a Turnitin assignment. See, there'll be an assignment button which is simply saying assignment. But we have to actually look at the Turnitin assignment button. Then we'll say add. Now we will have these options. So first of all, we have to give the assignment's name and description. Name in this first box, in the second box, instructions or any other details that we want. Then if we go down, we can say select submission type. But any submission type means that it could be a text or it could be a file or whatever, and how many parts it will consist of, 1, 2, 3. That's on the next page to see the further. So any submission type means it could be a file upload or it could be a text submission. That is, file upload means that you want to upload a Word file or a PowerPoint file or any other file. But text submission means that you simply want the students to write down something in a box that appears for them, and that, or they can copy and paste material into that if that is possible. So it is our choice. We can select it, or we can simply say any submission type. Then both of these will be allowed. Then we go ahead, and sometimes why the parts is required. See how many parts we want to be. Sometimes what happens that references, this is allowed by some of the organizations, that you can have a separate file for references. If you have a separate file for references, then it is easy for you to avoid unnecessary plagiarism. Because what will, similarity, not plagiarism, similarity. Because what happens that if you are using a particular reference in APA format, many other authors are also using the same citation, and your index will be very high. That's why sometimes we take the references part in separate file and the remaining text in a separate file. So we can allow 2 or 3 files to be submitted. Then we can also put a limit on the file size. For example, a maximum file size would be 40 MB in one go. We can allow, specifically sometimes we do not want heavy images to be uploaded, so we can limit that to 5 MBs or 2 MBs or 10 MBs. Now, a very important thing is that this help icon is always the key to use anything. Like if you are using anything, you click this help icon and you always get the help. Okay, so next thing is this, that do you want your student to see the originality reports? You can say yes or you can say no. So normally if you ask me, I'll say always yes, because it's better always that they see that how they have done. So it's our choice, but anyway, it depends upon individual instructor that how they want to see it. Now there are advanced options as well. We can click this button and go to advanced options. Now allow late submissions, yes or no. This is another important choice. Report generation speed. It is saying generate reports immediately. Reports can be overwritten until due date. The other two options are that generate report only on the last day of submission, so that students cannot see the report and simply you get it. Then there is another option that they can see but they cannot modify the report. But I always select this option, that generate report should be generated immediately when students can see it. If we want to allow them to be overwritten, but if we do not want them to overwrite, we simply get the first report is final. Then they can see it, but they cannot change. So it's our choice. It depends upon, I think, the level of the students. More senior students should be slightly more strictly dealt with. So we can select that the first report is final and students can see it. There's a possibility. That this is very, very, very important thing for everyone, that it is asking the store student paper as any paper that you have submitted here for a repository or not. You will have three options here: no repository, institutional repository, or HEC repository. I suggest that never select the HEC repository, because what will happen that if once document is added to the HEC repository, it's very difficult actually to remove it from there. And what will happen that whenever next time you are using the same thing, this will show 100% plagiarism because you already have that in Europe. So preferably no repository should be selected, or maybe institution repository. Then other options are you can choose by yourself. Check against the student papers. For example, you want to compare the students' assignments with each other as well. There's a possibility that they have copied not from here and there, but from each other. So if you want to do this, yes or no. Check against the internet, of course, yes, we have to do this. Check against the journals, periodicals, and publications, of course, yes. We can exclude bibliography, yes or no. It's our choice. Should we exclude quoted material? This is something basically to avoid unnecessary checking. Because what will happen that we can ask that if there is a definition, students can put that into quoted quotations basically. What will happen that if we say exclude quoted material, we say yes here, then that quoted definition will not be included into the similarity. So there will be an advantage. Now we can also exclude small matches. Small matches mean, for example, we say that if they're matching 1% or so, or two words only are matching, then we can exclude that. So there's a possibility. We say exclude small matches, we can write down, for example, 1%. Or if you want to select the words, say 2 words. So when we write down 2 here, words should be selected. If you want to do that in percents, then if we say 1, here we have to select the not words but the percent. Here you can see an arrowhead, 2 arrowheads, which are allowing us to check that. We click it, we'll see words and percents. Then at the end, you will see save and display, and you will see your assignment almost like this. For example, say assignment 1, the summary, the details, this will be the start date, this will be the end date. And if you want to edit the assignment, any details about it, then you can select this pencil button. You click this and you can go back to the edit assignment. Now, how your submission inbox look like? When your students will submit their assignments, where they'll be seen. You can go to the assignment and you can go to the submission box, and here you can see no one is submitted because it's just form. And once they submit it, you will see their assignments, and here the percentage. What is the similarity index? Here, here, in the percent, here. Now, if you want to see that in more detail, you have to click this colored button. When you click this colored button, you can go ahead and you will see this report will open in a new window. When you are actually clicking this, for example, 35%, and this bar in yellow color, a new window will open, and you will look at something like this. Now here we have to select this originality. Let me show it live because that will be more easy. Let me stop sharing this and share something else which I have opened it. So this is now this slide. So here you can see a paper that I have submitted, just a small, not a paper, but a small part of it I have just checked, uploaded for reference. So here we see many buttons. We can download this one. We can add our comments here. This is saying that we want to comment. See, for example, you want to give students a particular kind of comment. We can simply click here and write down the comment on that. But for the originality, you have to click this button, this red button. Click it, and here you can see when you just are scrolling around, you can see this option. So all sources. First of all, go to all sources. Here you can see from all sources where they actually find out some material which is taken from that in the software's opinion, which is copied from a source. For example, I have selected this source, like 3%. It's saying 3%. So how it is saying it? It is actually highlighting it here. Here, here. There is a color coding, and here. Okay. Now I go to the next source. It's saying 1%. I click this. Okay. So it is showing me that these words are copied. Now see that these are the things on which I am working, and here is another person who is working on this in the same line on diabetic patients. Now I know that this is quite a standard that everyone will check all these parameters in diabetic patients. So if I believe that my student has to use these words, and this is not a copy, I mean this is the same thing that anyone else is using, but this is not plagiarism. I can simply exclude this source. So I have selected this, and below that you can see a button which is saying exclude source. You can simply click this, and this source will be excluded from your similarity index, and index will use. So we can also this, and we can also, for example, if I exclude source, this one, it is saying exclude this one. I just simply press it, and it's gone now. This will reduce the index. So it's sometimes teacher's job to actually basically use this filter. This is kind of a filter by which we can exclude different types of sources that we believe that they are not plagiarism, but they are just similarity. And at the end, now if we want to download this report, we have to click this button. We want, sometimes what happens that when we are submitting a research paper, or we have to submit this to our institution, for example, with a thesis, then we can download this report with this button. Here you can see a download button where my cursor is. You can click this. Now it will ask you, do you want to download the current view, or the originally submitted file, or a digital receipt? Mostly we can select this current view because this view is actually showing all the parts which are, similar, which are having similarity with any internet source. So we say current view, and this will make a PDF for us. Same preparing download. This will download with all these sources in different colors in a PDF file. This is the file that we can submit with our thesis or research paper or something. So it have downloaded in the PDF format, and we can share that with anyone. So this is about adding an assignment, how we can add an assignment in Moodle. And now the last thing about this, the quick submit. I think we should also briefly talk about this, because now what's happening, that the student limits are reduced to a lot of extent, and it is of course causing us trouble that we will not be able to check our students' assignments against whenever we make an assignment. Of course, our students' quota will be used, and that quota, of course, after some time will exhaust because the whole of the university is using that. So how to use the quick submit button? I'll just quickly do it. Let me share it again. So for that, we have to go to our Turnitin account and log in. I hope I need not to repeat that process of logging into Turnitin. You go to turnitin.com and you go to login, and here is your home page. From home page, we have to go to this quick submit. You can see 3 buttons there, just below the Turnitin, all classes, join, count GA, and a quick submit. We go to the quick submit straight. Here, when we have to submit something, we can simply go to this submit button. And luckily, now we have the option of no repository, which was previously not here. So luckily, we can use the no repository option in quick submit now. Here we can select all these options. We want to customize our search. So search the internet, search the student papers, search periodical journals and publications, search the higher education in Pakistan. We want to search everything. But the button which is very important for us is this: submit papers to standard paper repository, that is HEC's repository. We prefer to not to add any paper here because this is very difficult then to remove it from there. Then institutional paper, that is FCC's repository, or no. I think better option is always no repository. Then we can submit. Now we have these options. See, single file upload. This is my default upload, you can say, option, but I can always change it. Here you can see a small arrowhead. Click it. You can go to multiple file upload or a zip file upload. Multiple file upload is quite an easy option. Here you can see we can choose the files and we can select. The other option, that is the zip file upload. We can also make a zip file consist of many Word files, preferably similar type of files, and can also upload a zip file here. Then when we one by one we select all the files that are the student files, then we can upload. We can click this upload all button, and all files will be uploaded in this same group. Now what happens in Turnitin? I just want to show you my submission inbox. So I go back to quick submit. I just have uploaded a few files here, and you can see that they are showing this similarity index here. For example, let me open just this one, which is showing just 7% similarity. So I click this here, this green bar again, and I'm going over there to the feedback studio. Here's the feedback studio. I can enlarge it.
Dr. Saba,
This is the same.
half of the screen looks black to me. Where your cursor is right now, I can't really see anything.
Is it gone?
I can't see it.
I don't know why it is appearing again and again.
Maybe you can stop sharing the screen and then share it again.
Okay, let me try. Okay.
Now I can see the entire screen.
It's gone?
Now I can see the entire screen. It's quick submit page.
Yeah, a quick submit page, yes. So on the quick submit page, I just want to, the last thing from my side that if you want to see, you can see a list of files like this, which are all, you can say, checked for the similarity. And they're showing similarities here in line. And you can click any one. And now I have to go to the feedback page because feedback page is separate. Because that will open a new window. So I have to share it now again. Okay, so this is the page you reach. And that course will open in a new window. And the remaining things, I think we already have discussed that we can open the sources individually. We can open the sources individually, and again, you can go down. You can see in different colors. Sorry. Okay, so you can go down and you can select different sources which are showing different types of similarities in different colors. It's kind of a color index. Here you can see this is source number 11. This is source number 1. Here you can see this is the word, this will be used everywhere. We can exclude that. This is again source number 7, source number 5. Now we can select and we can exclude the resources that we do not want to be included into the similarity index. And then what will happen ultimately, that similarity will actually reduce. So this is all from my side. Now, any questions from your side?
Thank you so much, Dr. Saba. Do we have any questions from the audience? Or any comments? Okay, so there is one comment, a question by Dr. Safir from Pharmacy Department. He's saying the option of quick submit is not showing on my account. What could be the reason?
You have to, yes, this is possible because actually what happened that you have to switch it on from your profile. So let me show you that. Let me go on my home page and then I share from beginning. I'm just trying to share my screen. What happened that if you have started using Turnitin just in the beginning, starting, then what will happen that this is your home page when you log into it, and here you can see your name and your user information. You have to click your user information there, and here you can see your account settings. In the account settings, you have to switch the quick submit on. This option is activate quick submit. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, button number 3, activate quick submit. Maybe it is, no is selected over there. You have to select yes. You can see here, activate quick submit. Sometimes what happens that by default it is selected as no. We select it yes. When you select it yes, Then you can go down and submit, save this information. When you do this and you go back to your home page from here, Naveen home, then you will see this quick submitted button here. You can try it now if you have internet, you're using that. I repeat that you have to go to user info from the home page, and here you can see account settings, and number 3 you can see activate quick submit. And then after that, when you do it, say yes and submit button. Then when
Thank
you
you so
go
much,
back,
Dr. Saba. Dr. Safi is saying done. Thank you. Do we
I
have
hope this
any
is-
more questions? So for future reference regarding Turnitin, library and Dr. Saba are the two main people who can guide you regarding it. This is just an information for all the faculty members that initially Mr. Suleiman Khairullah used to be the administrator of Turnitin, and it came under CLT's domain. But right now, we are in the process of transferring the Turnitin department to the library, and they're under training for that. But in future, they will be guiding you regarding your Turnitin queries. And Dr. Saba is always there. She is the expert, and she has been very kind in helping not just CLT but the entire faculty too.
today it was, I think, for new faculty precisely, so it was very basic. We can discuss any issues if they are right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saba. We're just going to wait for another minute and see if there is any other question. If not, then we will wrap it up. I have launched the polling as well. Please fill it in, and then we'll wrap up the session. So far, 15 of you have polled. Can I request the rest to please contribute towards the polling feedback of the session? Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Thank you to Dr. Saba and thank you to the audience as well. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'm going to end this session. Khudafis.
Thank you everyone for attending.